Oh, it's Fun Friday. Gun show and alcohol. That's how we do. That's how we do. Okay. Hopefully I'm live. Am I live? There we go. All right. We are going to talk we're going through a few things today. But first, the three-part formula to live that rock star life, have your drinks, and not, wake up Monday way behind on your goals. So we're going to get into that, but also the finer details of what alcohol actually does in your system and how to minimize the damage. All right. Oh, I see myself. Dusty, welcome. So first off, a caveat. If you've got big fat loss goals and every weekend you just completely go off the wagon with alcohol and bad food choices, I liken it to that carpenter that builds his house all week long. He's pretty much got the thing done on Friday, and he lights a match to it and burns it to the ground. And then he has to come back on Monday and start from scratch, hammering away, doing the same work that he did last week. So unfortunately, the reality of that situation is you may have to practice some moderation if you've got big weight loss goals. Your weekends may have to be reined in a little bit. But there's good and bad news here, and we're going to share our process to overcome that, have some fun. If you're watching live, by the way, type live below. If you're on the replay, type replay. Just want to make sure audio is good and people are with me and they're getting the message, all right? So first off, what does alcohol do in the body? Well, as soon as you drink it, your body has to convert that in the liver to acetate. And that is a toxin that it doesn't want hanging around. Creates a buzz for you. It's a lot of fun. But from the body's perspective, that is a outside toxin that they want removed. Pierre, welcome. Client Pierre has been killing it. Nice to see you. So in order to metabolize that, export it out of its system, it puts the brakes on metabolizing calories, the food you've consumed in that window. So fat oxidation goes down in the presence of alcohol. Not a big deal in isolation, but can be an issue if you're consistently drinking, multiple drinks every night. So that is the problem with the double whammy of getting food goggles after a few drinks, getting some really fatty foods, that hot dog vendor on the corner, and you're more likely to store those calories as body fat because your body's prioritizing alcohol. That said, good news here. If you're on a diet and you can fit the alcohol within your calorie limit, it's not going to matter. Okay? You will still lose fat because you've accounted for those calories. But here's the problem. People don't realize that alcohol itself is a macronutrient. It has 7 calories per gram. That's high calorie. That's comparable to fat at 9 calories per gram. So what I tell people to do is you're probably going to have to cut some food to compensate for the alcohol. So just basically factor it in to your fat calories for the day. So you may have to cut 20 grams of fat calories to fit in 2 drinks. Make sense? We can go into kind of your best options in terms of drinks here in a second, but just wanted to get that point across of what happens in your body when you drink. And there's more to the story than just, getting drunk and overeating because you're drunk kind of thing. Matt's on, Tara. Matt will like this one. I know you like to mix in your vodkas. So the short answer here is a few drinks a week is fine. Moderate alcohol actually has some health benefits in terms of clearing out your arteries and stuff. So a few drinks a week. That would mean, picking a couple nights where you have 1 or 2, maybe 3, and leaving it at that. Because where things really start to go south is when and you're probably not at that stage anymore where you get so drunk that you lose all sense of control and your memory is foggy the next day. In that situation, a lot of cascading factors negatively impact you. For one, it's harder to gain muscle when you're hungover. Protein synthesis goes way down. Hormones like testosterone can be affected by binge drinking. So a lot of things go wrong in that case. Moderate alcohol, not so much. It's fine. Rye and water seems safe, Tara. Yes, it would be. That is one of the better options. The spirits with a diet drink as a mix. Actually, we'll go right into that then. Best drinks to choose if you know you're going to have one too many. Champagne, believe it or not, has the lowest calories per serving. So if you're a baller, get a bottle of champagne and you'll be good. Oh, don't drink the whole bottle. That kind of defeats the point. Like Tara said, spirits like vodka, rye. What else is there? I'm not much of a drinker these days, so I'm drawing a blank. Anything you can mix with like club soda. Don't do tonic water. Tonic is as bad as a Coke. And maybe even a diet drink. Tequila on the rocks works. Some light beers are fine. Some wines are fine. Wines aren't too terrible. I think anything with Pinot at the start is okay. Again, it's a little bit higher calorie, and people tend to have more severe hangovers from it. But you have to do what you enjoy in moderation, right? So if you plan to go ham, here's the game plan. So say you got a wedding. This isn't a COVID thing, obviously, because we don't have any fun these days. But you have an anniversary like I have this weekend, a wedding, whatever it is. Go with those calorie-free mixers, Diet Coke, club soda, whiskey on the rocks. That saves you quite a few calories right there. Then you've got to, in order to enter God mode, where you get a good buzz, but you don't get belligerent, a 1-to-1 ratio of water to alcoholic beverage. Try to stay a little bit hydrated. It depends on how much alcohol you drink. Water can't do the job if you're really going crazy. But 1-to-1 ratio is a good start. In order to avoid a major hangover and poor quality sleep, cut the alcohol 3 hours before your bedtime. There is strong evidence here, Alan, welcome, Lois, that alcohol consumption affects your deep quality sleep. You may fall asleep better and easier, but you won't get into that quality deep sleep. And that is obviously going to affect your next day mood and energy levels. And then you'll skip your workout and you'll eat bad foods. And you know where it goes. So 3 hours out tends to be the good rule of thumb, depending on how much you drank. Get some water intake in that window and you should be good. The fourth part and final part is, frankly, like I said off the top, if you can fit alcohol into your calories for the day, you're not going to be negatively impacted by it in terms of, fat gain. It's only in a calorie surplus when you combine alcohol with fried foods that you get in trouble. So just put it into MyFitnessPal, 2 glasses of wine. If the numbers still add up, you're still good. You're probably going to have to cut from somewhere to compensate, maybe, depending on the day. If you do that, you'll be fine. And that's kind of the good news here is if you account for it, you can drink in moderation and not feel guilty for it. All right? And if you're a grown adult with kids, you can't afford to be hungover and parent them tomorrow or the next day. So even though it's fun in the moment, you're stealing some serious happiness from the next day in order to be the parent you need to be. So that's tough to do in the moment, especially if you're peer pressured by certain people in your environment. But 2 drinks, generally speaking, maybe 3 for men, 1 to 2 for women is sort of what's considered moderation. All right. Okay, that's pretty much it, guys. I know Tara and Pierre are clients, the ones that are asking me questions. Danny's on. Danny will know what's up. Jason and Josh. Josh knows this too. That's your Achilles heel, Josh. You know how to make it fit. So in our programs, typically we account for a carb up day every weekend with most clients. And that's when they kind of get their fix, have a few drinks, have pizza, whatever it is. And we still account for it, and they still lose weight each week because it's part of a larger plan. If you find you're not getting anywhere and you feel like you're diligent Monday to Friday, I'd look at your weekends to see what you can improve upon, because that's often where people fall flat. All right. Any questions, drop them below. Again, if you're watching live, type live. I have a little cheat sheet. It's kind of called God Mode, how to enter God Mode, drinking without the fat gain. If you want that, type cheat sheet below, and I'll get that off. It's a 1-pager thing. Tara's got her carb update today. There you go, Tara. See? You've earned it. Rock on. We'll try to keep that in your plan as long as possible if you do everything else right. have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. I'm off to, do more work. Client Q&A at noon for those of you who are on Zoom. But it's a staycation anniversary for me tonight with wifey. 7 years for us. So we're actually getting I shouldn't say it because she might watch this. It's a surprise. So you'll have to wait for tomorrow to learn where we're at and what we're doing. So Grandma, good luck. Grace is a nightmare these days. Have a good weekend.